We're back here on National Geographic Weekend. I'm Boyd Matson. Time for our Wild Chronicles segment, that part of the show where I share some stories of my own travels with National Geographic. And for many years, more than a decade, I had been wanting to go to a place called Nagaland. It's a state in northeast India, on the border with Burma or Myanmar. The people there, they were famous for being headhunters. But outsiders, it was difficult to get a visa. Most outsiders weren't allowed in until fairly recently, maybe around 2000. Other than Baptist missionaries. They let missionaries in to probably try to calm down the headhunter instinct in these people. And they were not cannibals. They weren't shrinking heads. This was just their tribal warfare. They would fight with each other, and then once you'd killed your enemy, you would cut off their head and bring it back on the end of your spear and stick it in the ground in front of your village. It was a way of intimidation. The best way to win a war is with a good offense, and that's pretty offensive, cutting off somebody's head. So finally, I get to go to Nagaland, and I meet one of the guys who was a headhunter and is still alive. Now, he's getting up in years. He's not sure even exactly how old he is, but he thinks about 90. But when I asked him what it was like to be a headhunter, he suddenly was using me as a prop in his reenactment of tribal warfare, and he's got the very spear with which he used to kill 3 of his enemies in battle, and the machete that he used to cut off their heads. And now he's jabbing that spear in the air in front of my chest and showing me all the maneuvers like he's back in the day. And for just a moment, I get a thought of, what if he really forgets what decade he's in? They stopped the headhunting in the 60s. He may suddenly think he's back in the 60s and had that one last flash of glory in front of his friends and family who've gathered around to watch this little demonstration. But I play along with exaggerated expressions of terror, and everyone laughs. And then I have Lanang, the headhunter, pretend to lead me into battle against an enemy. Although I'm armed with a cassava root, apparently I'm not to be trusted with an actual weapon. So we have a lot of fun, and everyone gets to leave with their own head on their own shoulders. But here's the really strange part of this whole area of Nagaland. In every town, there's a Baptist church because of those missionaries. And we're walking down the street, after I've been with the headhunter, we're walking down the street of his village, and I hear this music coming out of a thatched roof hut. And I recognize it and say to my guide, "What is that sound?" And he says, "Do you know the Gaither Vocal Band?" And I say, "Yes, I do know them. They're from the famous Southern Gospel Quartet tradition, very popular in Christian music circles." And he explains they are one of the most popular musical groups in Nagaland. So here I am with headhunters and Baptist. In fact, percentage-wise, there are more Baptists in Nagaland than there are in the states of the south of these United States. It's a strange place. Well worth the trip and waiting 10 years to get there. Well, that wraps up our show for this time. Thanks for listening. Thanks to my producer, Ben Shaw. Be sure and join us next time on National Geographic Weekend for another radio adventure.